At Fpweb.net, we're big fans of the SharePoint community, and to that end, we help out when we can. Sometimes that means lending a creative mind to a conversation, sometimes it's sponsoring a great event or an opportunity around SharePoint, and every once in a while, it means tossing a dedicated SharePoint hosting solution to a great cause. Now, we didn't have to worry about the creative side of SP24 because the organizers had it covered. They already had the brilliant concept of a conference that would unite SharePoint users across the world. It would be the first of its kind, a 24-hour SharePoint conference with 48 sessions, all held online and featuring the best SharePoint speakers the world has to offer. Following the sun from New Zealand to Hawaii, all SharePoint all the time. What could be better? There was just one caveat. They needed a SharePoint hosting environment that's built to perform, something that could handle the traffic and content. Otherwise, it just wouldn't work.
So we started working with Vlad and Mark a few months ago on the SP24 project. Really what they came to us for was they were looking for the ability to host the conference website. What we decided was to kind of get them an initial environment, and so we architected that on our side.
Yeah, so just to expand on that, they just needed a server so they could start their development and start the process of the whole SP24 website. And we gave them what we call a Pro Plus plan, which is everything on one server. You have your Active Directory, you have your SharePoint, and you have your SQL. And from there, they could begin their development.
And then what really turned out is they started pre-registration on Christmas Eve, and that kind of took us to our next steps.
Yes, while children were laying in their beds hoping Santa had stayed gluten-free this year and would easily fit down the chimney with their presents, Fpweb.net was already handing a present of their own to Mark, Vlad, and the rest of the SP24 crew. But just like the infamous Christmas when I got a new racetrack many years ago, no sooner had we started playing with it when it broke.
So on Christmas Eve, we started to receive some emails from the SP24 team, and working with Mark and Vlad again and the rest of the guys over there. What we found is that the demand for the site was actually greater than originally expected. So while that's certainly a good thing, it did pose a couple problems for the environment itself.
When architecting an environment, the server is only as good as the functionality you need. And in SP24's case, it was going to need a lot more than just a single server farm. Luckily, the power of any Fpweb.net dedicated hosting environment is its ability to scale up and down rapidly as needed.
So as a result of the issues that were experienced on Christmas Eve, what we suggested is some additional load testing, which the SP24 team did. They went back and did some of that testing, so we could then kind of take those results and turn it over to our SharePoint team and really re-architect the environment for something that was more suitable for what we expected.
Right, so as we said, they had everything on one server, Active Directory, SQL, SharePoint. That turned out not to be enough for them, so we modified the farm a little bit. We gave them 2 web front ends just to handle all the users they were going to have. This is an anonymous site, so the number of users is quite significant. So we stood them up 2 new web front ends, moved all the SharePoint services over to those web front ends. They're kind of splitting the services among themselves. Killed all the SharePoint services on the SQL server, and they pretty much went from there.
If I recall, this was all done within about a 24-hour period, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The story of SP24's environment is not too different from one we see every day with customers who are learning the easy way how they can access their environment and how quickly that environment can be flexed and customized to meet their exact business needs at the moment. And when the time comes that something isn't needed anymore, send it the way of the dodo.
So we're not really sure what's going to happen in the future with the different events that the SP24 group is going to put on, but how we really designed this was for it to really be easily scalable, right? So in the future, we'd like for it to be able to kind of move up and down as the conferences exist.
Yeah, so right now they're at 3 servers, but the way we left it is we left SharePoint installed on the SQL server just in case, when the conference is over, they're not going to need 3 servers, so we can remove those 2 web front ends from the farm, stand SharePoint back up on the SQL server, and essentially they can begin developing for the next conference.
And that's how SP24 started the new year with a new site, ready to handle the traffic and functionality needed to help make it a big success. At Fpweb.net, we're excited to be a part of such a big event, and expect to see a lot more creative ways in the future, like SP24, to get SharePoint to the masses, and hope to be a part of those too. With Fpweb.net's dedicated SharePoint hosting, putting our talent on your team makes it easy to eliminate the IT burden of SharePoint, manage your expenses better with flexible billing, Control and customize freely without limited functionality of the environment, and get to market faster with a SharePoint solution that's built to grow with your business.